Good morning, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a subject to you that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know, and that is fear of liberty. Fear of liberty. It sounds funny, huh? Because generally people consider liberty to be a good thing, a pretty universally good thing. You might be surprised at how many people are afraid of freedom. Let me explain if I can. There are kind of two ways to look at the world, and it's not usually that simple, two ways to things, but in this case, you're on one side of the middle or the other side, and that is in terms of how you view other people and what freedom means exactly at the bottom line. So I have heard it said, regrettably, I have thought about it to this day. I've heard it said that freedom means many things, which, if you think about it, is a complaint. It's a complaint that, given the opportunity, many people, if not everyone, will abuse their freedom. Well, first of all, I don't believe that. I'm my own example, and I don't need to believe it as far as everybody. But as far as some people, perhaps some people will always abuse their freedom. And there will be tragedies, there will be atrocities, dramatic, extreme tragedies. And there's, again, two ways to look at these things, too. You can look at them as things to react to or overreact to, or you can look at them as opportunities to be brave, to be courageous, and do the right thing by refusing to sacrifice the freedoms that everybody enjoys. I believe that is the harder, bigger opportunity that gets overlooked almost every time. What do we do when there's a crime, when there's a tragedy? We react, right? We create a policy, we create a law about it. We say, no more of that. Here's an opportunity to set a precedent, and we're going to end this tragedy right now, without any kind of concern for the good behaviors that also happen to match that description. Now, here's the big deal that nobody seems to understand. The symbols we create to represent the crimes that are in fact tragic fit other things too. A symbol can fit a lot of different things because it's taken out of context. A symbol, by definition, needs the context to establish a meaning, to have a meaning. So when you make a law, when you make a policy in reaction to a bad behavior, crime, whatever, you're creating something that also fits good behavior given different circumstances. And this is the big opportunity here. So people who are anti-freedom, and there are people, it sounds funny, to me it sounds funny, but they exist. I've met them. People who are afraid of letting people have a choice versus, live every day at gunpoint, figuratively speaking, with a firm, rigid set of rules. People who are against freedom fail to recognize that all of those rules and expectations, all of those demands that we place on people in the form of policies, codes of conduct, etc., they fit good behavior as well. There's something connected to this. It's almost a departure, but something called usability and abusability. That is, the potential to use something legitimately and properly is the same and is found in the exact same proportion every time as the potential to abuse that thing. Another way to say this and look at it is, if you limit something's ability to be abused, as in you withdraw it from the mainstream, you put security on it, or ban it altogether, at the exact same time, you're limiting its use, its possible use. And liberty is no different. Liberty in general, especially liberty, is exactly the same thing. When you try to make it so people can't abuse their liberty, you make it so that nobody can use that liberty anymore. I think that it's a hard job. It's a really hard job. Super hard. Nobody seems to understand how difficult it is to refuse to overreact to things. To say, you know what? we acknowledge that this was a crime, this was a tragedy. These people got hurt, there was damage. There's no repairing it, there's no correcting it. But what we absolutely won't do is ruin it for everybody. We might try to make reparations for this person somehow. We might try to compensate them somehow or support them as a special case, which we should also acknowledge, because circumstances must be relevant, or else you're not doing justice. You're doing something else. It's a big conversation. This is all connected. So, you know what I would like to do? I'd like to make a video just about the connection between justice and due process. The actual connection, and how when you eliminate concern for special cases and acknowledgement of circumstances, you are no longer doing justice by definition. That's a lot of words, so I'm getting almost run over by vehicles here, so I should sign off. If you have questions or comments, reach out to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.